Hello, and today I'm delighted to be launching our Service Delivery Strategy 2025, which we have tagged with the line, Plan the Future Together, to reinforce that this is a project that will touch everyone in some way, and the thoughts and experiences and input of our volunteers and staff everywhere are vital to the development and implementation of this work. The strategy focuses on what frontline services VICSES will need to provide to communities we serve right across Victoria if we are genuinely going to contribute to better public safety outcomes and more disaster resilient communities over the next 10 years. Perhaps from the outset I should explain just what we mean by frontline services. When I use the term in the context of the services we will need to deliver going forward, I'm talking about three things. Firstly, our capacity and capability to respond to emergencies. This is paramount and our foundation. Secondly, we have a legislated responsibility to provide support services to other emergency service agencies, particularly fire and police. This will not change, but we need to review this, and as over time we're asked to do more and more, it's called function creep. Of recent years, there's also been a marked increase in the amount of time our volunteers spend or are being asked to spend on these type of activities. Thirdly, I'm also talking about the clear expectation from government and communities that we build our capability around working with people to help them become more disaster resilient. Our challenge is that we are being required to build this capability without taking our eye off our response activity and in a challenging economic environment. There has also been a shift in thinking at all levels of emergency management that safety is a shared responsibility. Everyone has a role to play. Government, emergency service agencies, business and the owners of critical infrastructure and essential services, and communities themselves. We must all share in the responsibility for managing emergencies to lessen the impact and consequences. In the 10 years since the Victoria State Emergency Service was set up as a statutory authority, Victorians have experienced significant emergency events, particularly fires and floods, which have had a profound impact on the emergency management sector. Emergency Management Victoria has been set up with a focus on all hazards and all emergencies. We have an opportunity as EMV develops their strategic priorities to contribute to, and in some areas maybe even lead work where we have the expertise and experience around specific hazards. While there'll always be a need for frontline response capability, there is a growing need and expectation for all emergency service agencies to forge deeper connections within their communities, helping them to better understand the risks they face and to take appropriate action, including collective action, leading to safer and more disaster resilient communities. You may notice that Craig Lapsey, the Victorian Commissioner for Emergency Management, talks publicly about before, during and after an event. The focus is clearly on what we can do as an organisation to help prevent and prepare for emergencies, as much as respond and, where appropriate, provide support to relief efforts. One of our greatest strengths is that our workforce, our volunteers, are part of the community, and our size makes us more nimble and flexible than some other agencies in the sector. Extensive consultation was undertaken during the development of a frontline service delivery strategy, with workshops held across the state. We also conducted an online survey, and comments also came through the SES Link online forum. In all, more than 500 people participated in some way through the consultation phase. I realised that those in more remote areas had more difficulty attending workshops, and in this next phase we will still consult widely or seek feedback as the implementation planning progresses. One of the clear messages from the consultation phase was that volunteers in all regions are justifiably proud of the recognition and trust VICSES has built and the increased professionalism of the organisation. However, the trade-off has been greater time commitment to training, higher standards and expectations, and an ever-increasing regulatory burden. We are not alone in this latter challenge. We also noted our volunteers and staff said that impacts such as population growth and decline, more frequent and intense events, and the everyday living pressures on volunteers, including daytime coverage, were real challenges experienced by most units. There is a realisation that things do have to change. As always, The devil will be in the detail. That is why we will continue to consult and gain feedback from our volunteers and staff at the coalface as this work progresses. We will also continue to talk collectively about this at regular forums and workshops held in every region. VICSES are the largest provider of road rescue services outside the metropolitan area. Our organisation, but more importantly our people, have invested heavily in developing skills and expertise. We believe this will be a frontline service VICSES will be providing well into the next decade. There are of course opportunities to work with other agencies to make this service delivery even more effective and efficient and move towards sector-wide standards. The strategy, which details our key activity areas going forward, is available on the extranet, as is the feedback report on the consultation phase. Hard copies and a poster have also been printed for the units and notice boards. Please look out for these and discuss any concerns or ideas you may have with your unit management or email directly to the project team. The strategy aligns with the VICSES corporate plan, and the ongoing work is to develop the more detailed implementation plans and measures for the key activity areas highlighted in the strategy. Regular updates on this important work will be published. To those who have already given their time and feedback, my sincere thanks. Your ongoing input is critical to this important work.